Hey everyone, it is 11 o'clock on Thursday, and so I am going to do some jelly printing today. I fell down a little bit on the challenge, the 31-day jelly print challenge. So I thought today I'd do some of the ones that I missed. I did do quite a few of them, and I really enjoyed it. But there were a couple of challenges that came up and that required a lot of setup. And then there were some that I just missed because they were days that I don't work, and so I never went back to them. But I'm going to do some of them today, so bear with me. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and work with. Okay. So turn that off so you can't hear me. I'm going to go work with alcohol inks today. Which is fun because it dries instantly, so you don't have to worry about waiting for it to dry. At this point I have jelly plates dedicated to this so that I don't mix them up with the paints. I find that going back and forth usually means that it takes a little while for me to get good results, and so I've just dedicated this one to alcohol. And I'm just gonna remind you what that looks like. This I have several different kinds of alcohol inks. These are the Tim Holtz ones by Ranger. This is Brie, I think is how you say her name, Brie Reese. And so I'm just going to squirt some of this on, spray it around, see what happens. You can see that there's been alcohol on here before because of the way this is behaving. And it's gonna spread it out. Ooh, look at the purple I get when that happens. So pretty. Okay, and so today I'm gonna actually do chevrons, and it helps to let things dry, but I'm going to throw this down and wipe off with a baby wipe. And I'm not trying to be super thorough with this. I kind of want it to look messy, so I'm not worried about really scrubbing it away. So when I pull this off, actually what happened is that the paper pulled the stencil pulled some of the alcohol ink off. So let's see what I get. Remember, you spritz the paper with some alcohol before you pull it up. That helps you get the alcohol ink off the plate. So I am not backing it with paint, which is what you're going to see a lot of people doing. I love it. Look at that. Look at the color. And the wiping left its own marks on there. That was kind of fun. Another way to do it is for me to come in and do it with the stencil on here. Let's do a little different combination. I love these colors together. I chose them specifically because they're complementary colors and not primary, which I like working with. So I'm not taking away, I'm using the stencil as a mask this time. So we're gonna see what happens with it like this. Watch my arm. Hi Lois. So this is the chevron challenge that I'm doing right now. Oh, look at that, so pretty. And you can just see how vibrant and pretty. I should note, this size is actually 8 by 10 cut in half. So it is 8 by 5, which is not a standard size for one of these, but yeah. So what I want to do with this one is I want to just play around with the fact that alcohol inks are react to each other. So I'm gonna brayer some of this down. I just had some pink left on there, so I've got some purples coming out, which excites me. But then I want to show you what happens when you just throw alcohol inks down on something that already has alcohol in it. And you get this spread, and it pushes the color that's already down out of the way. So you get these little windows of color into through the layers you've already built up. And so there are people out there who genuinely paint this way and use the alcohol inks to create actual like landscapes and flowers and things like that. So if you really are interested, I suggest you know, Instagramming or YouTubing, and you'll see some of the fun stuff people are doing. Now, one thing that happens is until it dries, it continues to creep. So I don't know if you can see that some of these spots are creeping a little bit still. Encourage it. And if I want to wait for this to dry, I can. I'll get the colors really, oops, sorry, that makes it blurry. The colors will smush if I put this down, if I put paper down on this wet. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to put the chevron down first with, you know what I didn't do there? All right, couple things. I did not spritz first with my alcohol on the paper. So that was literally just because it was liquid. Otherwise it would not have pulled up. And there was so much on there, it went straight through. And so now I have alcohol ink hands, which there are worse things. There really are. Okay. So this one, I'm going to spritz. Thanks, Lois. That came out really well too. Ooh. So my splodges, you can see my splodges here underneath the chevron. But I've got some good chevron results in this one, I think. Actually, I still think I like that one, the color combination. I might do that one more time and just be, so let's see, what did I do? I did blue and a yellow and this pink. I'm going to start from light to dark, so I'm going to go this one first, do the pink, and then the turquoise. Okay, and then what did I do? I put this down, right, and then I got some sweepy stuff. Let's have the sweeps go in the same direction. Yeah, I like that. I like that look a lot. I don't like the color that ended up here, but I like the look of what that does. I'm going to try one more version of that because I'm enjoying it. I'm going to play with where I put the colors a little bit. Fire this down. So I got kind of sticky here. There's the yellow. And here's the blue. Nice. It's fun. Okay. And then I'm going to put this down, but instead of sweeping at this point, I'm going to dab and see what that gets me in terms of a texture. Pull that off. Spritz my paper with some alcohol so it picks up. Put this down on top. This is a heavier weight paper that I have sitting here. I just have a scrap pile of paper that I'm using. A lot of it is just leftovers from other projects. Ooh, I like what that did a lot. Very interesting. Now, it is worth noting, I don't know if you saw how little, sorry, not little. There wasn't a lot of color, it looked like, when I did that. And you can see how intensely it reads when you pull it up. This is a ghost print, which I am all over it. Look at that. Look how pretty that ended up. So that is just the leftovers from this print. You can see that the colors mimic each other, but it's just the leftovers. And honestly, I think so far that's my favorite one. And I got more of that texture that I was looking for from the dabbing on this one. And Yeah, I really like how that turned out. Yay. Okay, so that's chevrons. The next thing I want to think about, what do I have access to? Because one of the options was lace, which I don't know that I can put my hands on any lace right this second, looking around my space here. I'm trying to think of what else. Does anyone else remember what the prompts were? So, well, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and do some stamping. That's what I'm gonna do, because I enjoy it with the alcohol inks a lot. So I'm gonna start by putting down a base. There we go. And then there are a couple things to do when it comes to stamping. I can use stamp pads that have an alcohol. These are solvent stamp pads. They are alcohol based. I can also use, I just gotta find my stamps. I was a little too efficient yesterday and cleaned up a bunch of stuff out of the way. Let's see what I have. All right, here's one. This is a Seth Apter, one of his little minis. I'm just gonna go in and throw this down. I spritzed it with a little alcohol first, and then now what's happening is that it's both picking up color and putting down color. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I'm gonna pull it. Papers, papers, papers. All right, that's kind of interesting. Kind of a chevron in its own right. A little bit of a Charlie Brown chevron. I'm gonna do it again, and this time I'm gonna do it a little differently. I'm just gonna do one color, like this. You know, I've got some leftover ink on my brayer, so this pulled up and went down again. Okay. And now I'm going to use a color, and what I'm going to do is spritz it with a little alcohol just to hydrate it a little bit. And then I'm going to come in and stamp the color down. Trying to be a little intentional with my pattern on this one. Got to remember to tag Seth with this one today. Okay, so remember, alcohol dries really fast, so you can kind of see where, you know, the alcohol I spritzed on the pad worked really well at first, and then because I didn't repeat it, it then faded and stopped reacting because the alcohol faded. I did do one with the magazine. That takes a little bit of prepping, so I'm not quite set up for that. You have to have the right kind of magazine for one thing. I love this. I love it. I love how this looks. I'm going to do that again with different colors. I'm going to keep going. And then I might choose a different stamp. I do have these colors in the store. This is the complimentary Brie Reese. So I'm going to use a few of his stamps today, and I'm going to use a different color. Ooh, this stamp pad doesn't have much left in it, so it's not actually expressing any color when I stamp it. So that's just pulling color off because the stamp pad's not working. So let's pivot to this one, which was working. a little bit, maybe. All right, so maybe these are just gonna be pull-offs. All right, and then I am going to stamp with this one. All right, I don't know that that worked, but we will give it a try and see what happens. Again, it's not always obvious until you pull it up what color's down. So yeah, so I did get some color. For some reason it left some of the print on there. So that's a ho-hum print. Let's see what else I can get. Maybe I'll just use some of this cardstock here. Ooh, look at what was left on that one. Wow, look at how much ink was left. Let's see if I do one more ghost print. Even then, after all that, look at that. That's pretty. Like that. Okay, just gonna mess around for a little bit more and then this is the turquoise. But there's some pink left on my brayer, so getting a little nice mixture there. This is my latest go-to. That's my latest go-to stencil. It's a paper artsy stencil, I think. Yep, love it. Ooh, I even got a little bit of the star repeat. I like that a lot. Maybe I'll just do another one. I just love that color combination. That was really pretty. So I'm just gonna go back to the turquoise because that came out of there being pink on my brayer. This is just a regular old baby wipe. I tend to get the ones that are natural so that it doesn't bother anyone to use them. Remember, spritz your paper with some alcohol so you can pick up the print more easily. Otherwise the print will not come off. Like this, you have to do white paint behind it in order to get it off. See, look how pretty that looks. See, I could do this all day long, literally all day long. Let me just do a little combo. Again, there's blue on my brayer, so I'm getting some nice color options there. I'm gonna be super intentional and really just get this part. And this pink is what's really providing the really fun ghost prints too. Okay, let's see what that gives me. Yeah, exactly, Lois. It's like, it just shows you how much more vibrant the colors are. I love that. Then they appear, you know, on the paper. Oop, let's see what I get ghost print wise this time. Yeah, look at that. Look at all that ink that was on there. Kind of wonder if there's even another one on there waiting for me. Look at that. That's pretty. So there's, you know, the 2 ghost prints. Let's see if there's anything else I can get out of this. This is also a great way to clean your palette. Look at that. That's how much was still on there. Let's do it again. This is one thing to do too, is that if you really want to get some layers on a plate, on a piece. Look how much I'm getting. It's crazy. Still, that's like 4 ghost prints in. I'm still pulling up print. Still pulling up ink. And this might be a great way to like really get your plate clean if you think about it. Really getting every little bit of ink off of here. So that's kind of neat. Like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ghost prints on this one sheet. And it really, oh, excuse me, it really filled it in. I love it actually. It looks like an old negative. Okay, let's see, what time is it? 11:20. I'm gonna just do a couple more because I'm enjoying this. I'm gonna do this color and see about getting some ghost prints from it too. See what happens when I do that. All right, so that turned purple because there was just still so much on my brayer. This is just a nice heavyweight piece of paper, not the cardstock I've been using. See what happens when I pull a ghost print with this. Ooh, look how much was left on there that time. I don't know if you can tell, I'm still getting ghosty bits. Oop. Okay, that was fun. Look at that, another piece completely filled out. All right, well, I should probably have done my homework and have looked up more of the, oh, you know, I know one of them was triangles. I don't think I really have anything. All right, you know what? I looked around and I saw this. Let's see what happens when I use a found object. All right, let's use a color I haven't used yet, or for a while. It's yellow. I actually saw some really nice ideas around the triangles. Let's see what happens if I just spritz this with some alcohol. It's actually just turning out round and not triangular. And it looks like, let's see what happens if I do this. All I did is pull up the ink from the plate. makes it all interesting. If you're into tumorous blobs, that works, right? Now it's his own thing. So that is literally experimentation at work, folks. So I think I might circle back to this later in the day if I have some time. I certainly need to go and wash my hands, but I'm gonna call it good for now. Really, for me, you know, what is this? Oh my gosh, look. I don't think you realize how many prints you get. These are the prints I got today. And you know, it's been 25 minutes? So yeah, you can get a lot done with Geli printing in a short amount of time, and it can be very satisfying. I don't know if you realized I went quiet at one point. That's because I'd reached that zone where I was just creating and enjoying it and forgot to talk. So that is today's demo. Hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you in the store in the next couple days. All right, take care, everyone.